Hey, this is Daniel Chu, aka Chewbacca, and today is day 23 out of 30 of November rejection challenges. If you're wondering what a rejection challenge is and why I'm doing this, there is a link to my blog in the description below. Today is Thanksgiving, actually, so happy Thanksgiving. And I have a kind of a weirder challenge planned out for today. The challenge is to ask basically a random stranger, basically go up to a house, ring someone's doorbell, and ask if I can draw in their driveway with chalk. I think this is like a 5 or a 6, probably like a 6. Right now it's kind of feeling like a 7, maybe like an 8, I don't know. A lot of the reason why this is weird and difficult for me is because A, it involves bothering a stranger, which while I have gotten over in certain contexts, going door to door and like ringing people's doorbells is not something that I feel very comfortable with. So I guess I'm going to learn what it feels like to be Mormon or just someone soliciting at doors or something. I don't know. This is very different for me. I don't do this on a regular basis. I think this is kind of weird, you know, like how often do you have a fully grown adult ring your doorbell and ask to do chalk art in your driveway, right? Like that's never happened to me. If I were like 10 years old, I think that like I'd look at this and I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Like, you know, let the kid have his fun. But in this case, because I'm clearly not 10 years old, I can only imagine that what will go through people's heads is like, why the fuck? And what do you really want? So I'm expecting a lot of suspicion on this, honestly. And it is Thanksgiving, so actually there's like a little bit of a story to why I chose to do this one on Thanksgiving. I realized that like a lot of things are going to be closed and that like people are going to be like at home with their families on Thanksgiving, which would make it hard to do certain challenges. So rather than, you know, like find out whether or not the mall is totally empty today because everything's closed probably, why not do a challenge where I literally go to people in their homes while they're there with their families, which does add an extra layer of holy crap, what am I doing to this whole thing for me, because you know, on a normal random day I think this would be weird. On Thanksgiving I feel like this is even weirder. I don't know why, it just feels weirder to me. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable about this, honestly. Like, I don't really want to do this. I'm very nervous about, like, what's going to happen here. Like, the moments between when I ring the doorbell and I'm waiting for someone to come and answer the door, right? Like, what if, like, I don't know, what if some kid answers the door? What am I going to tell them? Yeah, I don't know. I am expecting a no this time. And I am, because it's Thanksgiving and I am cooking, and the thing that I'm cooking takes a very long time. I probably will only have a chance to do this once today. That may just be the fear talking, but yeah, I'm going to try this and I'm expecting to experience extreme discomfort as I do it. So this is me leaving the comfort zone. Wish me luck. Hi. Well, it was sort of a missed opportunity, but I think half of what makes this really weird for me is actually ringing someone's doorbell. So I'm trying to make sure I do that, as opposed to find someone with like their garage open or something. Oh, Monday to Friday. All right, do this one. Hi.
I have a dog in here. What can I do to help you?
I have kind of a, I know this is really random, but I have a sort of a strange request to make. I'm wondering if you'd be willing to let me do a little bit of chalk art in your driveway.
Do what?
Draw something on your driveway with chalk.
Why do you want to do that there?
I can't tell you before I do it, but I could tell you after I do it.
Okay, we got people coming over, so probably not the best day to be doing this.
That makes sense?
Yeah, so I don't know. We're going to be having my mother-in-law coming in here soon.
Uh-huh.
So are you doing this all over the neighborhood?
Not really, no, just isolated. I can tell you why I'm doing this afterwards, and we can wash it off. It's not a big deal. Like,
Okay, that's
yeah.
fine. I'm sorry, I just...
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I know this is out of the blue, and
Okay,
it's not a great
all
day
right.
to do it, but
Thank you.
so that's a no, or
You can do it if you want. I don't know. I just can't be part of it. I have to get in the shower.
okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, well, she didn't say no, so. We can get this chalk open. I don't know, I guess it's Thanksgiving. Do one of those turkey things. Right, like gobble gobble. I don't know. Okay. Well, that was pretty weird. Excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
I know this is really random. I'm wondering if you'd be willing to let me draw something in your driveway with chalk.
Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah.
Like why?
what?
Yeah, I don't know. Just I didn't expect you to say yes.
Yeah.
So
Or our kids usually draw all up here.
I see. Okay. All right. I mean, I guess I don't know. I can just draw like a little. It's Thanksgiving, right? So.
We have more colors too.
Wow. Okay. Wow. You're so down for this. It's I'm very surprised.
Are you an artist?
No.
You just want to draw?
Well, I'll tell you why I'm doing this actually. So I'm terrified of rejection, and in November, what I've been doing is every day I've been doing a different what I call a rejection challenge.
Oh wow.
It's like ask a stranger for something where I expect them to say no,
Oh.
to kind of get over the fear of like rejection and like just dealing
Saying
with it.
what you want.
Well,
Or
yeah,
putting yourself out there.
yeah, exactly, right? Like yeah. And so I honestly I didn't expect you to say yes. That's why I'm like really confused.
Say yes to anything.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I just said, do you want more colors?
Yeah, no, seriously. I'm like sitting here going like, there's no way she's gonna say yes to this, and she's like, here, take all the colors and draw whatever you want. No, it's funny because actually the last person I asked, she was like, I don't have time for this. Like my mother-in-law's coming in like 2 hours. I'm like, I totally understand.
Oh, how funny.
So I was like, I should try this one more time just to see what happens. But
Do you really want to draw?
I don't know if it's okay with you. I'll just write like Happy Thanksgiving on your driveway or something.
Yeah,
just
huge.
say I did it, I guess.
You can just do it giant.
Okay. All right. I really don't have any art skills. I promise. Like, it's okay. No, tell me more.
So I was just at a conference. He's actually a motivational speaker. He lives here in San Diego.
Okay.
So his whole thing is that we are told at an early young age that we are not good at drawing.
Right.
So we stop being creative.
Right.
And his whole thing is that we need to be more creative in our case, in the way we think about our businesses.
Okay,
And,
right.
So he talks about the fact that in order to get, if you ask a group of elementary kids who can draw, he said everyone will put their hand up. Right? If you ask a group of pre-teens, maybe half of them. If you ask a group of adults, you'll get maybe 1 in 10 will put their hand up and say they can
Right,
draw, right?
right.
And he said everyone can draw. It's just at some point someone says they reject our creativity and we stop doing it.
That makes sense. That makes
When he
sense.
said,
You can definitely tell my creativity has been stunted in the last 20 years of being alive. I'm pretty sure that's not what you were expecting in terms of. Can I ask you a little more about why you said yes?
Because we do this all the time.
Okay, so for you this is not abnormal.
No.
Really? But okay, so I can understand like if like a 10-year-old kid came up to you and said like, "Hey, can I draw in your driveway?" That'd be totally just like not weird at all. But like I'm a fully grown adult, right? And I'm like sitting here like, "Hey, like I have chalk. Like can I draw in your driveway?" Right? Like.
So what made you think? What made you decide chalk and drawing on?
So
In Europe, you know how they do the chalk drawings?
they do?
Yeah.
Like in the street or like?
Yeah, they'll be like,
Really?
yeah.
That's cool.
Huge, like flat. Elsa, say hi. Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
But yeah, they'll do like, chalk things on the ground, and then they'll, just be like an art piece, and then it just goes away.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Ephemeral art. That's cool.
Elsa, you want to color?
Wow, you're really serious about your chalk art. I'm like, yeah. Actually, if you guys would like this chalk, I literally have it for just this, and like,
Oh, really?
I have no other use for it. So
Really?
yeah, no, seriously, I went and bought chalk just for this.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so talk about what did you do yesterday?
Wow, what did I do yesterday?
What was your?
I'm trying to remember. It's all blending together.
Did you use this one?
Let's see. A couple of days ago, I carried a mango around, and I asked random strangers if they would pose with the mango, like they were in The Lion King.
Okay.
And a surprising number of people
Simba?
said, yeah, exactly. Surprising number of people said yes to
Okay.
that. Yesterday, I'm totally blanking on in the moment.
What is yesterday?
Yesterday, I guess it was
Wednesday?
Wednesday. Oh, you know what I did? It wasn't really a rejection challenge. It was just like kind of out of my comfort zone. I went to the beach, and I decided that I was going to ask a bunch of people who were like relaxing or like reading or listening to music on the beach, either about what they were reading or what they were listening to, and just try to have a conversation with them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It was just totally out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
Like not something that has ever happened to me on the beach
True.
necessarily.
Right. and you're
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And I'm like sitting there trying to justify why I'm doing this, because like people actually surprisingly no one just like waved me off and like it was just like go away. People were like, okay, yeah, like
Yeah.
this is what I'm listening to, right? And hilariously, I also realized that I'm terrible at talking about music. So like people are like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this. I'm like, I've never heard of that before.
what that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, exactly, right? Like this is easier with books because I can at least talk to people about like why did you choose this book and
Right.
like what's it about, right? Whereas like I feel like people don't think about music that deeply. It's just like, oh, like yeah, I'm listening to something on
Yeah,
my iPod,
I don't
and
know
it's
what
like,
it is.
yeah,
I don't
exactly,
even know
right?
what
Like
its name
it
is.
came up,
Yeah.
yeah, it's right.
Wow.
But yeah,
So
it's
do you
been
feel like it's helping you, kind of?
yes.
Okay.
It is definitely. I mean, actually, this particular challenge, this scared me a lot, actually. I think the act of like going up to someone's doorbell and ringing it is what scares me. Like asking you
Yeah,
since you're out here was a little easier for me, but
that's always weird because you're always worried like, oh, who's coming to
right.
sell something or.
Oh yeah, right. Like yeah, am I a Mormon? Am I don't know, whatever it is, right? Like, but it's overall, what I've kind of learned from this is that lots of people are going to say no. It's not such a big deal when they do.
Yeah.
But actually, like even for the weirder things, like if you ask enough people, someone's always going to say yes.
Yeah.
As well,
Yeah.
right? And that's not something I would have expected. It's like something that someone
You
could
would
have
have
told
just
me,
thought,
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I shouldn't ever ask. For
Right.
that again,
Exactly.
and
Right. Yeah.
No one's gonna help me. Basically.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that like that fear before would keep me from asking for something.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the things I'm asking for now are not things I really want.
Do you think maybe
right?
when you were a
But-
little kid, like I always tell them, like
Yeah.
you guys have to go ask for the stuff.
Uh-huh.
They go in and they get like Frogland, like yogurt.
Right.
They order it.
Right.
And I make them.
And she's in the car.
I'm in the car.
Yeah.
But do you think when you were younger, your parents kind of did more of that for you, and you were like,
Maybe.
they didn't like.
Like push me to like make sure I talk to people and
Exact-
strangers
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
get
So,
used
like,
to
they
it.
have to have like
But
it's been
now
years.
the owner knows us.
But it's been years
knows
of
our
saying, okay, you
name.
guys, like I'll stand at the door, like here's the money, or I'll stand at the counter and be like,
That's awesome.
but it takes years.
Yeah,
and
right,
I have
yeah.
to say, like, look at them, ask for,
Please
whatever
and thank you.
want.
Right. Yeah.
And now they can go like pay,
Right.
and now they can order, pay. But yeah, maybe when you were just young,
Maybe.
that your mom and dad were like, oh no, we'll take care of that.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, the thing
You
is,
just stay
right?
there.
Like as an adult, right? Like in most situations, like I'm not afraid of talking to people.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay at it, right? So like that doesn't bother me. I
Yeah.
think that there is still like some sort of like it would never
When you
bother
need
me.
something.
Right. It would like getting out of just like the normal like day to day like
Yeah.
what is socially like expected
Right.
is something that I definitely like I don't have a lot of practice doing, right? So it's like
right.
if I were, like paying people at Froglanders or whatever, right? Like at this point, right? Like regardless of what my parents did when I was young, like that's not a big issue,
Okay.
right? Like, for example, actually I had one challenge where like I walked up to like a food truck, and I was like, hey, I'm not here to order anything. Can I actually come back there and help you serve food, right? Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah.
Regulations.
Yeah, no, actually, I did this in New York. It was really funny. It was just a guy at like a hot dog stand, right? And he was
wow.
like, "Sure." I was like, "Aren't there laws against this or
Yeah.
something? Like, are
Don't
you
I have to
allowed?"
wash my hands?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I was just like a random stranger. Like,
Oh wow.
you're gonna let me serve food, and fortunately, it wasn't a very busy day, so there was actually no one to serve food to. Ultimately, I
That's
like waited
funny.
a little while, but yeah, it's like things that are like a little like further outside of the comfort zone
Yeah.
that like I generally avoid very strongly, I
Yeah.
think. And this has been forcing me kind of to build the habit over 30 days of like getting out there and getting out of the comfort zone and stretching a little bit and just
Yeah.
being like, you know what? Like things are going to happen. Sometimes people are going to judge you. That's going to suck when that happens. Sometimes people are going to have really interesting and fun reactions to what you do.
Responses,
Right?
yeah.
Like this is really cool. Like
Yeah.
yeah, she's really killing it with that Happy Thanksgiving art there. So I've learned to like, I've actually like for some of these challenges gotten to a point where I rather than worry about what happens when people say no, I actually start worrying more about what happens when people say yes.
Yeah.
Which is
you're like,
weird.
oh gosh.
Yeah, it's like, what am I gonna do, right? Like, this was one of those cases because clearly I had no idea what I was gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah,
because I really didn't expect you to say yes. But I guess since you have kids and you seem like a
Yeah,
generally
we're
more
always-
laid back people, like
we're
it's like
always
whatever.
out there doing things.
That's fair.
And we paint rocks too.
See, Nolan?
Wow. Okay. All right. Maybe I should go around and ask people if I can paint their rocks. You know?
Yeah. No, seriously.
Wave is still here. That you made when me and Lexi were
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that picture,
That's awesome. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't expect I'll be doing a whole lot more driveway art. I really think that's my calling in life, honestly.
funny.
But I appreciate it
So
nonetheless.
do you go to different parts of San Diego and do a challenge, kind of, or just
Uh,
wherever you are?
It depends on the challenge,
Okay.
right? So, but actually, the way I did this is I asked 6 close friends to give me 5 challenges each, so I'd have 30 total.
Oh.
It's kind of like asking a friend for a dare,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Except that
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm committing ahead of time to doing it.
Yeah. Okay, I did it.
Right, yeah. So some of them have been at the mall, like UTC. Some of them have been. I live in Bird Rock, so like when I
Yeah.
get really lazy, I just like walk up and down La Jolla Boulevard.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I start worrying that people are going to recognize me for doing all these weird things on La Jolla Boulevard, but it's okay. Yesterday was at the beach, things like that, right? So here today, I have a little sister, and I was talking to her about like doing this, and she was like, yeah, don't do this like in our neighborhood because like I will disown you.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not in Bird Rock
Go
today.
somewhere else,
Yeah, right. I was like, okay, well, I was driving by here. I actually went to Muirlands back in the day. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
This seems like a nice neighborhood. Why not try this?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Also, what is something I've done that you guys are embarrassed of? That
Kissing dad.
kissing dad.
That's cute. That's
Yeah, I
real
can't
cute.
think of it, but I'll just randomly like if I notice somebody needs help and these
Yeah.
guys are like,
Yeah, randomly.
"Stop it,
No,
mom!" and
talking
I'm
to
like, "Do you
Shauna.
want me to hold your kid?" Like,
Talking to Shauna.
oh, Shauna. I always talk to Shauna.
Okay.
Shauna.
Shauna.
Shauna. Big black guy. dressed like a
Oh,
woman.
oh yeah,
Shauna.
yeah. Okay, yeah. I know
Okay,
exactly
that's
what
a
you're
good
talking
dare.
about. Okay.
Talk to him.
Yeah, you know, I've never.
But assess what the mental state is that day. So if he's a lot of, she's
okay.
a lot of, that means he hasn't taken his meds yet. But like,
Oh, okay,
if
okay.
he's just like sitting and just nice,
One time we were waiting at the
like it's
stoplight.
he's cool.
Okay. All right. I'll
waiting
try that.
to cross, and this he was.
But
he
you
got
never know if some days he could be like, right,
like,
Elsa?
Once he
Like
was like
Tourette's,
talking to.
schizophrenia.
Okay,
He
okay,
randomly
yeah.
just said to a lady, "Oh, I'm gonna go get my napkin because I forgot one." Just randomly.
And then
said
he
to a
fake
lady.
talks on his phone. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I'll be right there.
Interesting. Actually, one of my other challenges was to have dinner with a homeless person, and there's this guy. His name is Steven. He hangs out right in front of CVS.
Oh yeah, with
Oh
the
yeah,
hat.
that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, he seems, I mean, he seems a little crazy, but
Actually, he seemed perfectly normal when I approached him, and
did
then.
you already try it?
Yeah, I already did this.
wow.
It actually was a really strange and, in some ways, terrifying experience. Actually.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
probably gonna use this
A
one.
little
I think.
unpredictable.
Nice.
Kinda?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
I did it. I did it at night too, which was a mistake on my part, right? But
Behind Vaughn's or
like right in front of CVS. It was like still
Okay,
kind of
it was
public,
still there,
right?
okay.
But yeah, no, like I thought I was gonna have like an interesting conversation with someone and just like understand like like
what got you here?
exactly,
Yeah.
right? And like over the course of the conversation, I realized more and more that we were speaking different languages, and that like there's
He
no
was
way I'm gonna
hearing
understand.
things.
Yeah, like he started telling me these like really weird things, like theories about like religion and life, and
Oh,
like
gosh, yeah.
how I can't repeat them here because you have kids. Yeah, like at a certain point, I realized like, wow, wait, hold on, like you are actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time, I've been trying to understand because I just figured like you have a different experience than
No,
I
you
do.
are crazy.
And
Yeah.
and now I'm like, wait, no, something is up here, right? Like
Yeah.
I do not get it, right? Like I will never get it. And I had brought him a burrito. He was holding he went and got like a metal fork to like eat his burrito. I've never seen anyone eat a burrito with a fork before. Like,
Yeah.
But he got a metal fork and he was like eating his burrito with this fork. And he started getting more worked up as he was talking. He's holding this metal fork, and I'm sitting here realizing like, oh, holy crap! Like this guy's
Plastic knife,
unpredictable.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know like anyone else. Like I'd be able to understand like how they're thinking, what they're going to do next. I'd be able to predict. This guy I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because we're so clearly on just different
Did you
like
ask
levels
him
of
what
understanding.
He wanted, or did you just say, "Here's a burrito"?
I bought the burrito ahead of time, and I just like went looking for homeless people.
Okay,
And I was
so
like,
then
hey,
you
I have a burrito. Would you
offered-
like to eat with me?
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
Remember that time we did that, Elsa, and it might have been him actually. We had like a whole bunch of leftover stuff. We went
Oh yeah.
a long time ago. It was like pasta and stuff.
Huh.
And he goes, "I don't like that." And we go, "What?
Yeah.
Okay." And we took it back.
Right. Yeah. It's just like not something you would expect.
No.
Right. It's
Yeah,
like
Because they're probably starving. And
right. Haven't eaten anything all day. It's like, can you really be so choosy? Right. Yeah. Actually, the first guy I talked to. Steve was actually the second homeless person I had found that night. The first one I found at La Jolla Cove. He was like napping on a bench.
Okay.
And he like cracked his eye open, and he said, "What the heck is that?" Right? And I was like, "It's a burrito. Would you like to eat with me?" He went, "No, sir." And he like went back to sleep. I was so surprised. I was like,
I have food, but
yeah. I was like, is there something wrong with the food I got? Like, do they know that burritos aren't like that nutritious? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know,
yeah,
right? Like, should I have gotten something more
Yeah.
full of like vitamins? I don't know, right?
oh,
Like,
that's funny.
yeah. So things you don't expect.
Yeah.
But this was an interesting and overall positive experience for me.
Yeah.
I hope for you as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, good luck with all your...
yeah, no, I appreciate it. What was your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, I'm Daniel.
Daniel, nice to
yeah,
meet you.
nice meeting you as well. Since it sounds like you live around, well, you obviously live around here.
Yeah.
I
went to La Jolla and went...
oh, really?
What year are you?
2011 from La
gosh.
Jolla High.
Yeah, I'm 93, so...
Okay,
Long time.
little gap
Yeah.
there. Yeah, but yeah, well, maybe see you around in La Jolla Village or something.
Yeah.
But either way, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too.
And
Good luck with all your...
yeah, thank you. Thank you for being open-minded.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
All right, see ya.
Mommy, can I have color on this?
Okay, so I just got done with drawing in someone's driveway. I talked to two people in the end. The first person I talked to just seemed like she was in a terrible rush. And interestingly, she just didn't care that much if I ended up actually drawing in her driveway. So she was just like, do whatever the hell you want. Like, just get out of my way. I need to get ready for my in-laws coming, which, you know, I can kind of empathize with. Obviously, I don't have in-laws myself, but I can understand that, like, if you're hosting dinner. Actually, I have hosted dinner before, so I can understand that she's like, there's a lot of things I gotta do. Like, please just get out of my face. But that interaction was weird and awkward for me. I just, like, kind of didn't know what to say or, like, how to respond to her. I did end up drawing in her driveway. Like, I just drew, like, a little turkey and wrote, like, Happy Thanksgiving. And I walked away. But I think that was uncomfortable for me, you know, like, ringing the doorbell and waiting for someone. And then, like, when she said hello and, like, it seemed pretty clear that, like, she wasn't really, like, gonna have it. Like, she seemed like she was in a rush or in, like, just a, like, don't bother me kind of mood. Like, before she even opened the eye hole to talk to me. So that was, like, uncomfortable, and I think it was good for me to do that. It wasn't strictly a no, but it definitely made me feel a little, like, judged and just, like, a little uncomfortable. And to be honest with you, it might have actually been good for me to just, like, stop there and, like, let myself deal with that a little more. I think what I did instead was, like, tell myself, like, okay, that was really rough from my perspective. It could probably have been rougher, but it definitely could have been smoother. And so I kind of wanted to try it again to, like, have what I hoped would be a more positive data point. And the second person I talked to was not, I didn't ring her doorbell, so, you know, maybe, I don't know, it was a little easier, honestly. But very open-minded, very nice lady, who, like, not only did she let me draw on her driveway, but, like, she went inside and she got all the colors. Like, she has 20 like, chalk pieces of, like, varying colors, and as soon as I asked, she was just like, yeah, sure, like, let me go get you more colors. And I was like, what? You really? You're okay with this? Like, what? And it turns out, you know, she's got kids, and, like, they do this all the time, so, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it's also still kind of weird. So, yeah, but ended up having kind of an interesting and nice conversation with someone as a result of doing that. So, that, in the end, kind of removes the sense of judgment for me, and, like, kind of makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside again, which, like, maybe is cheating, because, like, in response to feeling judged, I, like, sought that out. But it was interesting either way. I think I learned something from the experience, and it definitely stretched me a little bit. So, yeah, happy Thanksgiving, and I will be back for day 24. Thanks for watching.